there's a little delay, and that it had like failed the first time, so
Oh, fair enough.
stream should start at like 14:45 on the session timer. That is. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the second round of the ARC Formula 3 Championship. We're here for the Portuguese Grand Prix from Portimao. And... nah, that sounds familiar. I'm the AF2 commentator. Bit of a technical difficulty delayed the stream starting by a couple minutes. But now we are officially underway with partway through qualifying. I don't know these names, so you have to bear with me here. Not all of them, anyway. I know some, but not all. We're on board with Fred, the Ferrari driver. I don't know his last name. As we already have...
Jamie.
Oh. Okay, so... good thing you know, because I just called him Fred the whole race.
Yeah, his name's actually Jamie.
And he's the brother of Craig. Now that I've heard the name, I know exactly who it is. We have only 3 laps put in at this moment in time. We have James Sands. Okay, now 5. Never mind. Bill Nowak tops the board with 17.6 on medium tires. Chloe Glennon, I guess.
Very good.
And that's about where I was doing in qualifying, actually, when I was doing time trial. And that's why I'm the commentator. Anyway, neither here nor there. I have a 17.74 on softs from Chloe Glennon, Jake Scarborough 18.1, James Sands 18.0. Just jumped the Red Bull driver. Harvey Collins with a 19 flat, must have made an error. Definitely Fidel Fabian made an error with a 27.2, that would have not really been on pace. Looks like we have a McLaren driver. I've Giachuri or something, I think is how you might pronounce that. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know his first name, it's abbreviated to the Discord server. He's on his flying lap at the moment for the McLaren. We also have the previously mentioned Craig Knock making a second attempt after having a moment on his first try round. McLaren heads up to the finish line. His lap time will be 21.5. I'm gonna hope that that's not a perfect lap by any means.
Definitely a mistake made if that's on the soft tyre. Oh, it was spin.
And we have oh, that's just the same McLaren driver spinning off on after their in lap. We have Darius McGill, the other McLaren driver, who is going considerably faster at the moment. As my bathroom furnace kicks on, I have to close the door at some point in between sessions, so I have to live with that for the minute. I can't really get up right now. McGill will have Bill Nowak ahead of him, and he's going to get a lot of dirty air. Never mind, he's not. He was about to, but Ferrari noticed last second and bailed out of the way. And so for the McLaren driver, it's going to be quite close. 17.85, but on medium tires, so obviously you don't really want to start on mediums, I don't think.
They're not a bad tire to start on.
It's just not the huge advantage you get at other tracks, I don't think.
It's going to be one of the ones where if you're not on the softs, you are going to drop back very quickly. But both the softs and the mediums, they do have pretty good tyre life. I wouldn't expect many people to be on the hards in the race. Yeah, for sure they can last a very long time, but they're at least 2.5 seconds a lap off the pace of the softs.
And from what I gathered through testing, they also seem to be very unstable for me. Anyway, I think you'd have to make a setup around those tires to even use them, and at that point, that's just a waste of time. That's an in lap. Oh, we have Jackson Tate in the Haas. He's currently on coming towards the end of his first hot lap, which he just invalidated, so never mind. And Carlo Durante would be on one, but he also invalidated his lap. I expect to see quite a decent number of penalties accrued during this race. Sometimes it seems kind of difficult to stay on the racing surface here. As Darius McGill begins his second attempt at pole. It seems like he was just on a lap. Maybe that's just me. Probably is. Bit sketchy through 4, but ultimately this isn't the one that's going to be for pole. It's going to be the next one, so it seems he has abandoned that lap, so we're right on board with the Red Bull of Jake Scarborough. He's making his way through Sector 2 at the moment.
Well,
and he's invalid.
Quite easily done, to be fair.
Yeah, the car doesn't like turning through that. And now on board with the Williams of Colby Glennon as they get a little slidey through that corner, but they're still going. And to the last turn. What will this produce? Might be pole, but close. Yep, top of the board, just a 10th over Bill Nowak. Fidel Fabian, he just finished his lap. He ran a bit more representative 18.7.
Jamie looks still having trouble in the Ferrari. He keeps spinning at different points of the track.
Looks like Carlo Durante in the Mercedes is about to actually finish off a hot lap here.
It's not going to be pole, but it's going to be a lap that's definitely got time on the table as well.
It'll be something.
I mean,
Also,
it
will entirely be pole. There we go. I don't know where that's come from, but here we are.
I thought they were a bit further back at the final corner when I rode on board with them, but that's a mighty lap.
Now that looks like an F2 lap.
Yeah, well, I don't know. There are guys in this tier that can get into the 16s. I'm pretty sure if they all went on the softs, we'll be seeing high to mid 16 laps being set. I'm just trying to think of when the AF1 guys go in, easily going to be setting 15s around.
Yeah, and I can't even fathom. I can barely break out of the 17s. I think my qualifying best is a 16.8. Or not even qualifying, that's time trial, where the car works completely differently. I'm on board with Jamie Knock, because he's going to make another attempt at completing a valid lap. He barely managed to keep it within the boundaries through there. Hugh Stotts has joined. He was supposed to be the commentator, but he appeared a bit late and so I don't know, maybe he's driving or maybe he's just here to observe. I'm not really sure.
Oh no, Collins.
And round the last turn, Jamie Knock is finally going to make a lap. It's going to be a 17:29. So front row at this moment. And Giatri has looped it in turn 8. I think that's a rite of passage for this Grand Prix, if I'm honest.
So I had confirmation from Harley Collins that his game's just crashed on him.
I have about 5 minutes to uncrash it. It's Jake Scarborough's once again heading through Sector 2 on his, well, as of now, second valid attempt. Second gear through turn 8. That's a bold idea. I don't know if I'd be caught dead in second gear through there. Not on this game. Not exactly on the apex for that.
James Killer's just started a lap.
James Sands. We'll get him as soon as the Red Bull finishes their run. It's going to be 17:79, basically 17:8. Right in the middle of the pack at the moment. And I believe due to time constraints, I think that'll be the most that Scarborough will be able to do within the time limit.
James actually running really well.
We'll see just how well the sector line up ahead.
It's definitely going to be all purple.
Oh goodness me! We might be looking at the next 16 here if he doesn't mess up the last 2 turns.
Short shifted in 7 a bit too early.
It is not another 16. Just ahead of the Ferrari driver.
He should be proud of that anyway. You could say the time between him and Jamie Nook it's nothing.
Technically speaking, James versus James, just with different nicknames.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
It's Collins rejoined. I don't know if the game's going to let him get another lap in. I don't know if he has enough time to get a lap in, but...
He can, but he needs to do it, like, now.
Now. I'm just more like wondering, like, I'm sure I think he could. It's just a matter of, is the game actually letting him leave the track or not? Or leave the track, enter the track or not? Because this is F1 2021 we are talking about here. It's not exactly a perfect game. As Fidel Fabian completes his final lap of the session, he'll reach the 1786. This is minus the very top and the very bottom. This is a very evenly contested qualifying session.
This had confirmation as well from Harley Collins. He's literally stuck watching the pit lane camera angle.
So yeah, that confirms my suspicions. As we once again have Giatri looping it through turn 8. That's... Oh, never mind, Bill Nowak's on an outlap, so that's not going to really affect him in any meaningful way. You have Jamie Knock on the track once more, looking for his last second entry into the qualifying. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. Collins backs out again. At this point, I fear he may not be able to rejoin before the Grand Prix actually begins.
You can get in. We're just trying to see if oh,
And that's an
Jamie,
invalidation.
invalid. Yeah, I know that he won't be able to go to trap, but the least I'd want him is to either retire the car, because I don't want us to be stuck here at the end of qualifying, because we've now got a driver who's had a issue. It's not even a internet connection issue. It's just
Crashing.
his game decided to die, and now he can't seem to drive his car.
So I'm not sure if this is actually Carlo Durante driving around the track at the moment, or if this is a session desync. It's very possible that it's a session desync, and there's more time remaining in this qualifying session than the game is telling us.
Yeah, I've seen it before when we're watching that timer go down. There's actually another minute left on the clock for the guys in the session.
I see it almost every week. At this point, I'm surprised when it doesn't happen.
Oh, he's invalid again.
As somewhere along the way, Darius McGill moved to the front row of the 1721. But with the two Ferraris unable to complete another lap, I feel like at this point Durante, he has the pole locked up. He's honestly just running this final lap for pride more than anything else. Which he doesn't improve anyway.
Need both Ferrari drivers to manually retire the car. Otherwise, we're just going to wait for them to finish in the pit lane.
Well, Nowak is already considered tired. It's just Jamie. There we go. He must have heard you.
I don't know how many people got watching the stream, but
Decent number. Like 6 or 7. This is a weird... Where's the lighting? Hello? So, run through the entirety of the grid order as the while the formation lap proceeds, because usually I don't have enough time to do it here. These are the times where I wish we had any form of bottled water in the house. Because I'm going to need something for my throat today. I'm going to be talking for 5 hours straight.
I've got fluids nearby, but it's all alcohol, and I have AF2 after this, so I can't exactly drink much of it.
I have a bunch of, like, soda in the house, but that'll just make me burp repeatedly, and that's not exactly professional commentary.
We got the countdown going, or we...
Nope.
I think AJ's going to reset a lobby.
Yeah, it doesn't exactly seem like we have a choice in this matter.
Same happened literally last week as well.
I was sitting in a, I was commentating the other night, I was commentating a race that was, like using the league system in this game, and we had to reset it 4 times before we eventually decided to just make a regular lobby.
Yeah, it's a good idea with what Cody's did with the leagues, but they're not very well set up.
Sounds like that would just describe a lot of this game. Good ideas, but not very well set up. And I just realized I'm probably going to have to restart the application now because of this. Like, there was a patch for this game and everything very recently. There's not really any excuse why any of this isn't fixed.
Notifications, I don't know if he's got a log in now.
Alright, do I get to join the new session?
They all... Oh, guys in the top 10, they'll have to start on the same tile, won't they?
Yeah. Alright, and because of that, I must not reset the application, so... Technical difficulties, folks. The stream will be back up in a handful of minutes.